Sunday evening everybody, and I'm just preparing for work for tomorrow, and I've got a little commercial shop front to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Probably take me 3 days. So I'm going to do a couple of wet paint signs. I'm going old school with the old wet paint signs, just so no one touches it, because you know they will. Can you see what it is yet? What was that? Did you hear a voice? I thought I heard a funny voice. There it was again. Did you hear it? If that don't stop them, nothing will. Mind you, I'm doing the front of an optician's. Not really, I'm doing a little barber shop. Obviously, something I don't need anymore. So without further ado, Sunday night now. Good luck England, I won't be watching you. I'll see you tomorrow at work. So fast forward, it's now Monday afternoon, it's about 1 o'clock. I've been to work and I've had to come away. Don't worry, I didn't get kicked off because I went into work dressed like Rolf Harris. One is the heat was drying the paint so quick. And two, where I'm outside the shop front, I couldn't really get up high and do all the sanding and scraping because there's people walking past. So I've rearranged that job, and what I'm going to be doing is putting some other jobs forward, and then I'm going to be going to this barber shop in the evening to get there about 5:30, 6. Probably work till about 9 really, and I think if I do like 3 or 4 blocks of that this week, which is going to be a real pain in the arse, but it's the only way I'm really going to be able to work comfortably. I know some people don't care, they'll scrape off and sand down and they won't care who's around them, but I always feel like I just like to be in my own little bubble. I don't want people around me, so much easier if just once the shop's shut and then the little bit of high street is nice and quiet, then I can get up there and do what I need to do. So that's the plan. So I'm trying to pull a job forward for tomorrow. I've got some plastering that I had previously booked in for towards the end of the week. So I'm trying to get that in tomorrow. And then I've got a decking that all needs scrubbing and washing down and resealing. So I'm trying to pull that in, as well as other jobs that I've priced up and people that want me to look at work. It's jobs booked in the future. There's always something to do. So even when one job drops out, I can always usually slide another one forward. And to be honest, if they don't want me tomorrow, I'm quite happy to have the day off, because then I'll be going in tomorrow afternoon anyway. So it's all swings and roundabouts. So just thought I'd keep you updated on that. So not much content to put out today, really. I will tell you what I have ordered. Because I've bought this compressor, which I'll show you now. So for those of you that watched the video last week where I was spraying the silicone render, I bought a compressor and this like hopper kit especially for that, because I'd always applied it by hand in the past, and I just find it's really hard work applying it by hand, and it's also very messy. So picked up this little set and sprayed it on, and it was perfect. But I don't want that to be the only reason I've got a compressor. Now I've got this lovely little machine and it really does run quiet actually. So I thought, well, why not get some more bits and pieces for that? Because you can get paint spraying guns for it, you can get nail guns, you can get all sorts of things. But predominantly I would use it for spraying, whether that's silicone render or paint spraying. So what I've done, I've ordered a set of this, and hopefully that will turn up this week, and then I can start practicing using that sort of spray gun, because I've obviously, if you know my channel, you know I've got 3 or 4, maybe 5 different spray guns that I use. I'm always mucking about trying out new things, but if I can get one with a little cup on top, I think that would be really good for, doors and things like that, because again, for those of you that watch the channel, I had a little Graco Quick Shot, which I used to use and I loved it. But it packed up and it just sort of become like a bit of a pain really. So without wanting to spend ridiculous amounts of money on it, like an idiot, I took it down to a local dump and I threw it in the skip. I just think maybe with that compressor and a little spray gun with a little cup in it, I think that would be a really nice thing to use. So that's the plan. I want to try and get like up to speed using this compressor now. It really run quite quiet, and I just think it could come in use for so many other things rather than just using it for that silicone. So that's the plan. That will be turning up hopefully within the next week or so, And I can have a little practice in here on it, which obviously I will show you. And I have got a UPVC front door that someone once sprayed. I've sprayed them in the past, and I used this paint. I used this paint to spray a UPVC front door, and that was a good 3 odd years ago, and that door still looks as good as it did when I left it today. And this French sheet alfresco is brilliant. All I did with the door is I gave it a good sand down, like a good bit of key. Then I went over it all with methylated spirits and cleaned off any grease marks, any dust. And then I just literally sprayed it with this. It's its own undercoat, so you don't need to worry about undercoats and priming coats. Just, I think I gave it 2 or 3 sprays with this. I had a HVLP sprayer, so I just doled it in light for the first pass, so you're just getting that air atomizing, just giving it a nice fine coat. Then I went on it again a little bit heavier. And I think maybe with something like this, when you're using the Graco Quick Shot, because you can't really dial in the amount of paint that it's putting out, I think it might have put it on too heavy at one coat. So I think sometimes the air assisted stuff is better for spraying that, because you only really want to give that first coat a bit of a mist. You don't want it hitting hard and then maybe building up, potentially running. So I suppose a bit like you would a car. You wouldn't give a car its first big heavy coat because it would run down the bodywork. So similar with this. So anyway, hopefully plastering tomorrow, which obviously I'll be back to show you that. Welcome to all your new subscribers. I think my last video about me being an odd job man done well, actually. It was one of them days, one of them filming things. I'd filmed a load of pieces and stuck it together, and I thought to myself, I haven't really got much here, but I'll put it out anyway. And surprisingly, it's done really well. So I've gathered a few subscribers from that. So welcome to you all. Always something different going on. Never usually the same job twice. Doesn't get too monotonous. So anyway, thanks for subscribing, and hopefully we can learn how to do this spray and the compressor together, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you have. Anyway, take care everyone, and I'll see you soon.